You are listening to the Smuggler's Galaxy podcast, my favorite podcast to listen to on long flights across the galaxy.
This is the way.
We're wanted men.
Is it live or is it Memorex? This is episode 227 of the Smugglers Galaxy podcast, your favorite Star Wars podcast or smugglers in the galaxy. Jason, we're recording it a couple of weeks early. How was your New Year? It's New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, right?
Today's the day of New Year's.
Yes.
May it be a year of here we go again.
That wasn't on my bingo card, which I still need to do my bingo card.
I do too. Yeah, I got plenty of time to figure that out.
You just have like a 10-hour plane flight. You'll be fine.
Yeah. But
anyway, did you do anything fun today or just hung out?
no, I went to bed around well, we did go to a neighbor's house, but then I went to bed like around 11 and I didn't fall asleep, but I did wake up at midnight. And the reason I woke up is because that's when all the fireworks start going off.
Yes.
It's like they wait for midnight. So I woke up because of all the fireworks being popped off. And of course, my neighborhood's got a neighborhood watch list and not watch list, neighborhood watch. And they're always posting when people are doing fireworks and complaining about it. But
it's New Year's. I mean, yes, it's annoying. I've got one of my dogs that she's deathly afraid of it. So we gave her some calming chews, which she was kind of cool. And then, yeah, it wasn't as bad as it has been in the past. But yeah, I don't understand. But getting back to those neighborhood things, it's like it's New Year's. It's midnight. People are going to pop fireworks and it's going to suck. So get used to it. You know, there's no use to complaining. We've got one of those in our neighborhood and we don't get a whole lot, but I do have one for the county that I'm in. And it is ridiculous because somebody like posted this morning, oh, I went to Costco and got some chicken and it wasn't good. And I'm never buying it from there again. And then they explained why the chicken wasn't good. And then it's like, who cares? Or they're like, what's going on over here? Or what's being put up over here? So my answer is strip club for everything. If people are asking what's going on in the corner of 92 and Woodstock Road, I'm like, strip club. And they're like, we're in Cherokee County. There's no strip club. I'm like, it's still funny.
There is. That's what your answer should be.
Well, there needs to be.
Now there is.
Yeah, now there is. Yes.
No. But yeah, nothing new came in. I did get notification that something from Disney stores coming in. They were running a deal on the 3-packs, the 4-packs, the TVC 4-packs, and this is the Night Troopers, the Ahsoka Zombie Troopers.
Nice.
Didn't have that one, so.
Disney's been running pretty good ads, and I've kind of not paid attention to them because I don't need to spend the money. But they're like either free shipping or 50% off or, something. And then when you go to look for the stuff you want, it's not the stuff you want. So you end up buying like last year's stuff or, because I keep looking at the Sabine lightsaber and that thing is over $200. And I'm just like, they had Ezra's lightsaber, which I was really close to pulling the trigger on, but it was his new second lightsaber. If it would have been his first lightsaber that was the blaster, I'd have definitely bought it because
then you could have really pulled the trigger.
Then I really could have pulled the trigger. I mean, I've got the play one, the one that they put at Disney parks, and they were like, when I bought it, they were like, this is the only blaster that we have in Disney parks because it's the lightsaber looks like a blaster. And I'm assuming Jason's reaching for it right now. Because he was doing some. Oh, that was where his 3D printers are.
3D printer issue.
So they were like, it's the only blaster you can buy at a Disney park was Ezra's lightsaber. And it wasn't even at Galaxy's Edge when I bought it. I bought it at that store at the front of front of Hollywood Studios. That has all the stuff, cool stuff in it. But yeah, I got that from cheapy kitty toy?
I personally suspect, and this is just, I don't have any scientific data or any analytics to go along with this, but I quietly suspect that Hasbro's been reducing their inventory that they produce. It's either they're making too much and then they're just burning half of it, or they've cut back on the number of items they're making because it seems like some of this stuff is very limited and they sell it
Uh-huh.
faster than they used to.
Right.
And if you listen to podcasts, it sounds, and if you look online, it sounds like people are cooling off from modern collecting and collecting in general.
Right.
And so just those two factors alone makes me think that Hasbro's cut back on inventory.
Well, I mean, it is because everybody, I mean, even in the chats we've been in, people are like, I'm just waiting for Ollie's to get it because it's cheaper at Ollie's. And even the Cobb Vanth that was $12 at um, a couple of weeks ago is now going, some places are hitting $8, $7, $8.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely can feel that. I mean, heck, I just Thrawn will be here tomorrow, but that Thrawn was down to $10 on TVC. So is it did they overprice their product and people are like, we'll just wait because that it's something we can wait on, or
Yeah.
is it something bigger that they're making too much product or they're learning, or is finally Steve making a difference in Hasbro, world of Hasbro?
I do think the items are overpriced and they're overpriced for what people want to pay for it. It may cost that much to produce a figure, but that's not the cost that people want to spend on the
Right.
figure. Because
Yeah.
when something's hanging out for $24, the TVC figure, it's $24 right next to a Black Series figure that's 26, $27. It's like
Hmm.
when you look at those two, you're going to go with the Black Series because it looks like the better option and the
Right.
better value.
Right. And you're not the deluxe stuff is not really deluxe. I mean, the when you're getting the Sabine that's got an extra backpack or something. Now the Sabine that came with the Ghost, yeah, it sucked paying $25 for that figure, but you get a lot more stuff with it, and you're kind of like, it's a special figure. I'm willing to pay that. But when they have like one or like this Cobb Vanth was a deluxe figure, and it had a couple extra pieces of plastic in it. Suck it up, Hasbro, and take the loss. Not really the loss, but don't make as much money on this product, and you'll probably be able to sell it. And I don't, but
I don't know how I got
anywho.
on this tangent, but I just, yeah, that's my unscientific thing. And the reason, part of the reason I came to this is because there's two of those 4 packs that I don't have.
Uh-huh.
The Rebel pilots seem to have sold out of that, and there's one more crew that I don't have, but yeah, so that's just my 2 cents.
Mhm.
But I do have some limited news.
Yeah.
This is from a couple of weeks ago. So at the end of the year, some of these news outlets like to do anonymous articles, kind of predictions.
Right.
For example, CNBC did that with media executives. And so they kept their names anonymous, but they did make some predictions. And it was 13 predictions. The final executive said that Kathleen Kennedy will depart Lucasfilm. It provides no details other than that they suspect she's going to be leaving. She's been in charge since 2012 and that she's in her 70s. So I would imagine at some point she wants to retire.
I don't understand these people that are in their 70s still working. You're a millionaire, and why are you still working in your 70s?
Yeah, I mean, she could be on the beach somewhere. She's got all that. Not only is she really well off, but her husband, Frank Marshall, was Steven Spielberg's producer. So
Mhm.
they're both well off and they can retire in some mountain resort at, they own the mountain basically.
Right.
It's like,
They're not hurting for money, in
no,
other
so it's like,
words.
why are you still running a company?
Right. Unless they're just like, I don't want to, I'm afraid I'm going to die when I retire. But
Yeah.
you know what? My in-laws are retired and they are working just as hard with they are keeping themselves just as busy being retired as they were working. And I would rather be busy doing stuff I wanted to do.
And then
Anywho.
Jeff Snyder is an industry reporter. He said recently that Sean Levy is holding a window starting in September of 2025
Uh-huh.
to film his Star Wars movie. So it's like he's working on the script right now, and his schedule has starting in September, some sort of open window to film this movie.
Hmm.
He's writing it with his partner Jonathan Tropper. I guess they've worked on quite a few films together. Yeah, Jeff Snyder also said that Daisy Ridley is more of a supporting character who will mentor the protagonist, who's expected to be a teenage boy or a young man, depending on the actor's age.
So basically, the movie we should have got with the Star Wars, the prequel trilogy.
Maybe he did say at one point that his movie would the intent of his movie is to tell the complete story, that there's no setup for a sequel or a
Okay,
trilogy.
good.
So I like that approach.
Right.
No secrets, just tell your story. No
No,
mystery
no,
box.
I've always said that, man. Wrap it up, maybe keep one or two things open, but make them, all the major plot points, clear that up.
Yeah. Um, Forbes recently revealed that Disney spent 290 million on Andor season 2. In total, that's 64 million for both seasons. Filming, and the article says filming began November 2022, but it was suspended in the summer of 2023 due to the SAG-AFTRA strike. It resumed in January of 2024 and wrapped the following month, although this was far from the end of the story. So they had to do more filming and pick up shots after that. But yeah, 645 million for nearly, no, it's more than half a
Half
trillion
a
dollars.
trillion or billion?
Billion. My
Billion.
bad.
That's
I
a
was just
lot of
listening.
money.
I got to stop because I'm not stop recording, but I got to stop paying attention to my printer because there's some sort of error. I have to fix a wire. It's got a
Uh-huh.
loose connection, so it's detecting that, and then it just stops in the middle of the
Oh,
print.
so you
So
don't get a bunch of spaghetti?
I don't get a bunch of spaghetti. It's not about spaghetti. It's just the sensor for the filament says that something's off, and there's nothing
Oh,
off other than the
gotcha.
wire that connects the sensor to the machine.
Awesome.
So I got to fix that later. But yeah,
Yeah.
so $500 million, more than that on Andor.
$1 billion. Yeah, so
And then
cool.
this isn't news, but it could take us into another Oh, wait, though, before I get into this, I did pick up didn't pick up. Sorry. I went to Walmart and I picked up, in the sense that it was in my hand, the Deidre Mero Black Series figure from Andor.
Okay.
You remember her? She's the ISB agent that was like chasing things down, and she kisses what's his name? Cyril at the end.
The blonde lady.
Yes, the blonde lady.
Yes.
Or Cyril kisses her. But I picked up that figure. It's a Black Series figure, and it just looked off.
Uh-huh.
Something was off about it. And at first, it was the way they positioned her in the package. She's kind of like hunched over with her head up, which looked
Uh-huh.
weird. But as I looked at it more, the proportions were way off on the figure. And
Yeah.
what I think they've done is I think they've just reused a male leg for an Imperial officer, and I want to check this.
Yeah.
And but then they sculpted a new female torso, so it just looked weird.
Really. I've heard rumors that they did do that, that they just used male body parts.
Well, this would be the first time where I'm just like, that's yeah, I could see that. Like instead of
Wow.
sculpting and getting new tooling for one figure that they can't reuse in the future, let's just use the male.
That's horrible.
But we were talking about video games a couple weeks ago, and that we were playing Jedi Survivor, and you were playing
Yes.
Outlaws. It got me thinking, like, where are the popular character games like the Ahsoka, the Mando, the Cassian Andor? Where are those
Yeah.
kind of games?
I, I don't know. Maybe they think that we can, with video games, we want new characters and new content versus, an Ahsoka video game. I mean, I'd be down for an Ahsoka video game. I'd have no problem playing Ahsoka, but I mean, is it easier just to make up the characters and go from there?
I don't know. At this point, I kind of want a solo game that bridges Solo and A New Hope.
Yeah,
So you get all the Jabba stuff.
that'd be cool. There is some Jabba in Outlaws. It's actually you work for Jabba for a minute and you're in his lair and you actually can go up to Han and Carbonite, which is kind of cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. So Outlaws is set between Jedi and Empire and Jedi.
So it's there. It's just you can't play it.
Right. It's just he's it's sitting there and your little boy, your boy is like you know, does his laughs and stuff.
Salacious crumb.
Yeah. I and I've kind of not getting aggravated, but you with those games, you just get to a point and you just got to put it up for, it's nice to have other games to go to when you get aggravated with one.
Um, and in Skeleton Crew a couple weeks ago, a hut appeared at the spa,
Yes.
and then there's the huts in Book of Boba Fett, the twins. Like, I really want to know what's going on in the world of the huts.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, it doesn't. We go through this over and over again. It doesn't have to be a full 6 season episode or focus on the huts. I just want, one single hut, and we're getting reports that what's his name, the hut from Clone Wars is going to be in the Mandalorian movie. So
Right.
it's not Zero, is it?
No, it's stinky.
Squishy,
Squishy or
stinky,
stink. Is it
stinky.
stinky?
I don't remember. Sorry, people. It's New
Don't
Year's,
wreck your cars.
but I like one, like the Werewolf at Night
Uh-huh.
special presentation that Marvel did with Disney Plus. I just want something like that. Like, here's the huts or the huts, and it's like some sort of soprano style telling of the huts.
That'd be cool. I mean, we've always said it. I mean, like I said, I'm not upset with them doing filler content as long as they do it and it's something where we have like 20 episodes, not 8.
Yeah, I'm just curious about the whole who's in charge now. Was there a power struggle?
Hmm.
Because wasn't Jabba the top dog?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know the all the hunts, so don't quote me on it.
Yeah, same here. But I would assume Jabba was in charge of the whole entire clan, the Hutt
Hmm.
family. And now that he's gone, were there other Hutts that are vying for power? The twins. They seem to show up at Jabba's doorstep. It's my thing. And we've got this other Hutt in the spa. Is he just a rich kid that doesn't want anything to do with being running a crime syndicate, but wants to enjoy the money and takes time off or something? I don't know.
Right. If you there, I mean, I know we don't want to talk too much Skeleton Crew, but going back to the spa, if there is a lot of Easter eggs in that spa, there's like all kinds. There's bits in there. There's um, whatever the actually, and then whoever Dark Plagueis. I said Bith, but that's the mortal nodes, right?
Yes.
And then there's Dark people like Darth Plagueis, but he's a Bith too, isn't he?
He's not a bit. He's a I don't remember, but that's the banking clan. I'm looking it up right now because
Okay, so all right, so then it makes sense with them being a banking clan, them being in the spa. So there's a lot of stuff going on that
Mun,
a
M-U
nun, a mum,
M-U-U-N,
mun.
Mun.
There you go. Anyway, yeah. By the
That's
time people hear this, Skeleton Crew will probably be. Well, no, we got one more, two more, or whatever. I don't know. We got two more. It'll be almost
one.
over. I can't keep up,
No,
dude.
in our next episode, we will take a look at the entirety of the Skeleton Crew show because we'll have seen it all and we can give a honest review. Sometimes you like a show at the start and then the quality dips in the middle. You might not
Mhm.
like it as much. We're going to take a complete look at that.
There you go.
Because in
I'm
my
still
mind,
enjoying it. So
yeah,
spoiler alert.
in my mind, like reviewing shows um individually, like each episode and not the whole, especially when they're telling a whole story like with Skeleton Crew, is like stopping a movie in the first 30 minutes and saying, okay, let's talk about the first 30 minutes. What's working, what's not working, and then the next 20 minutes of the movie. Okay, I didn't like this. I didn't like it's like you review the whole movie, and we'll do that with the show.
Thumbs up.
There's some
Hey, I
fireworks.
forgot about that. We had fireworks.
Yeah, when you do thumbs up in Zoom, or is it Apple?
It's Apple.
It puts fireworks happening behind you.
Oh, there we go. And then I got balloons. I forgot about all that. I'll be FaceTiming the grandkids and they get crazy with that. They're like, oh, yeah, let's do all this stuff.
Do you like the horse heads and the alien heads and the dragon heads?
We don't really do that much, but we do the peace signs because here comes something else. Here, what's going to be the confetti.
Confetti.
Um,
So the camera can recognize the gestures you're making and then react to it.
right.
That's what we're
Exactly.
talking about, or that's what he's doing right now for those that are.
That's the depth of the Smugglers Galaxy podcast, your favorite Star Wars podcast for smugglers in the galaxy.
We also do tech reviews with Apple and Zoom.
Right. So yeah,
So
what do you want to talk about today, Jason?
we were gonna finish up our 2024 look back by talking about the moments, the connections we made along the way.
Yes. So
And I promise this will be the last time we talk about Rogue Fun in a while. Maybe ever, maybe for a long while.
it is. It's kind of like we've already discussed some of it, but no, you and I haven't really discussed. I mean, I guess we have discussed Rogue Fun, the two of us, but we haven't really discussed, we kind of keep going on the surface and just like touching it and then running away. And yeah, but we were going to discuss our top 5 or whatever top moments of 2024 of Star Wars collecting.
I don't have top 5. I just have a couple memories that I'm going
I
to
know
talk
that's
about.
about like me. It's been yeah, we could talk about Rogue Fun again, but I don't remember much of it.
Well, I do want to mention in September we did Lewis's meetup, and that's
Yeah,
always a thoughtful meetup. And so hanging out for a couple hours at his place is always nice. So that was one of the top memories in terms this is all Star Wars related too, by the way.
right.
It's not my personal life.
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, I mean the meetups are always awesome. I can't really pick out one in particular because we didn't do the summer social this year because of Rogue Fun. But yeah, the meetups are always a good highlight of the year as far as that goes. So I can't argue with that.
Yeah, we did there wasn't too much at the start of the year just because with Rogue Fun in May, and a lot of the people who put on the meetups or focus on club activities or focus on Rogue Fun. We didn't do a lot in the spring,
Right.
but we did a lot in the fall because there
We did.
was Lewis's Second Chance, Terry and Lisa's, and then the Winter Social.
Right.
So
Yeah, I kind of like, I mean, I like going to Terry and Lisa's. I like a meetup I mean, yes, I do like it focusing on Star Wars, but then I also like at Terry's, we were just kind of all hanging out in the living room, shooting, chewing the fat for a couple of hours, which, is kind of fun and just catching up and seeing how
yeah,
everybody's doing it because we hadn't seen each other in a minute. Um, so that's always nice too.
the Second Chance meetup was nice. You weren't there for that, but
No, I was on a
you're,
cruise.
you're Disney cruising.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, the meetups are great. So that was one of the ones that I wanted to mention. How about you?
Yeah, no, I agree with the meetups. I've only really have two memories that pop up in my head, truthfully, and I bet you can guess both of them.
Winter Social?
No, it has nothing to do with the other memories have nothing to do with the except for Rogue Fun. There's
I
only
don't
one
know.
other
As
memory.
a ghost?
Oh yeah, that's true. I did get the ghost. That's a memory. I was thinking about that before, before we hit record that the ghost would be a memory, um, which we discussed last week. But yeah, no, getting the ghost. Yeah, we'll put number 3 will be getting the ghost because that was very memorable. Getting that ship, and it was sort of a nice cherry on top of the year. Way to end the year was getting the ghost and opening it and having that moment. Finally realizing having it in your hands and having the realization that it's finally a real thing and you'll be able to display it and look at it and have the remember Rebels.
Yeah. There was some things they could have done, I think, to improve it. Comparing it to the Micro Galaxy Squadron
Yeah.
underneath the gathering area, it's not a family. Well, it is a family room. It's the all-purpose area.
Yeah.
In the Micro Galaxy version, you can pop off this cage cover and you can stuff things down there. So there's some playability that's missing in the
Mhm.
HasLab. And I'm just like, for $500, could have been an easy thing to add to the playability.
Right. I did pay attention to the gunner position, the front gunner position versus the HasLab Ghost and the MSG
Yeah,
Micro Galaxy Squadron, and they're both about the same. So I
yeah.
don't know if I think they're trying to fight the height issue on that. ship, because if you were going to put that in, I mean, when you think about it, it would protrude probably 6 inches from the bottom of that ship just to get that right, and it would just look off. The front of that
Um,
ship would look off.
and then we were talking about the
Yes.
painting the Ghost logo on, was it the side or is it the front of the cargo
It's the
door?
side. It's on both sides of the cargo hold, or right
Uh,
next to the.
there's very little paint application at the bottom, almost like they skipped it.
Yeah.
So I think it's less of a detail missed other and more of a we can save some money by not painting the bottom, so don't paint the bottom.
Right. And I do think that, like I said, man, if you want to get your circuit out and print me a couple, that would be awesome. Because I will slap that on the Ghost, because it does. It's something you don't notice a lot when you see the Ghost on TV and stuff, but it's definitely something that's missed
Yeah.
when you have it in person. And we were talking outside, and we think this is the first time that Mark Boudreau hasn't been involved
Yes.
in a HasLab, and I think it shows,
Yes.
because the quality. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love my Ghost, but when you compare the sail barge to the Razor Crest to the Ghost, the playability just kind of, you lose just a little bit each time.
The printer keeps doing it. I keep thinking that it's going to be fine this time. I'll just hit continue and it won't have the sensor error, but it keeps going.
Yeah.
But yeah, because there's a lot of the panels pop off and the detail of like on the sail barge, there's the a railing that's missing where C3PO and R2D2 fall off the edge.
Mhm.
That's just a small detail that it seems like things were just over missed or just they just said, here's what we can do, here's the bare minimum, let's go
Right.
with it. And then I don't know if Mark came in afterwards and sculpted something different. I mean, when you just look at the sail barge and the Falcon and compare that to the Ghost, it does feel a little cheapened.
Right. Even though, I mean, I don't get me wrong, I'm happy with my Ghost, but yeah, I do think that you know what, we'd be saying this even if it was 100% right. It'd be like, oh, well, they missed this, they missed that.
Right.
And I do think that them like that little cargo bay, that would have been nothing. I mean, they didn't even have to make it very big, enough to put a droid in, and I think
Yeah.
it would have added to the playability of it.
It's all
Um,
speculation too, by the way. Just like it's just speculation. We're not
right.
saying that this is the reason why this is like this.
Right. No, we don't know, but I mean, we could just assume that it is cost cutting, because
Yeah.
you do hear when you listen to the old guys, the vintage guys talk, the people who are doing the vintage stuff, and they were getting, oh, it's a quarter of a cent more to do one more paint application, and we can't do it. So I mean, we do know that cost cutting, is a thing,
Yeah, unfortunately.
unfortunately. So I think it suffers from cost cutting, but it is an amazing ship, and I'm so happy to have it. I can't complain about it. I can't complain about it, but having it, and it's awesome.
Yep. What else was on your list?
I met a certain someone at Dragon Con.
Oh, right. Yeah. I don't have anything
Yeah.
like that this year, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was I mean, I hate to be, I think Rogue Fun, as much as I enjoyed it, it was such a blur that it's hard to remember and be like, oh, that was this year. Because it was, I mean, you know what I mean? And I don't want to downplay Rogue Fun. Um, but no, I think, yeah, meeting Natasha was one of the highlights, just because, I've always wanted to meet Tia, who did the voice of Sabine. I got to meet, um, Harrison Dula. I forgot. Uh, her,
Yes.
huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I got to meet her, the voice of her last year. I
Lloyd
was
Christmas.
really close. All the actors had come out. They were in Montgomery, and I was really close to heading that way. But I've always missed. I haven't taken the opportunity to meet all the voice actors, but being able to meet and being able to meet somebody and put the two faces together was just amazing. And she was really awesome, and she didn't look at me like a 50-year-old man, or old man, like crying over this 25, 30-year-old girl that plays a teenager on TV, you know? Well, actually, Sabine's probably 25, 30 and by the time Ahsoka rolls around. But you know what I mean? It was a really awesome experience. And it's the experience you want whenever you meet somebody. You know what I mean? You want them to realize, because I mean, I know you got to meet Hewan, but he barely even looked up as he's signing your autograph because you're just, you barely have time to go, man, I love you. And next person.
Yeah.
So I mean, even if they only take 5 minutes with you, it always makes it that much better. So it was an awesome experience.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else happened this year? Even with everything, our buddy Ted came down. We finally got to
That was
meet
fun.
Ted.
That was
Uh,
cool.
yeah. And we've been friends with Ted for 2-3 years, and whenever I've been up in Cincinnati in his hometown and being able to try to get together, I was there one time and a hurricane hit, which which made his job, he couldn't leave work. And I texted him and I'm like, hey, dude, it's 5 o'clock. How's your day going? And he's like, I didn't even realize it was 5 o'clock. So, I mean, that's how busy he was. So
Yeah.
he finally was able to make it into Atlanta and we were able to meet
Hang
up with
out.
him and have him come check out our collections and hang out the evening with them. So yeah, that was another cool highlight of my year.
Toylanta was fun back in March.
Yeah, Toylanta was good. Toylanta's always a good time.
The way you said
Unfortunate,
that was weird.
what, huh?
The way you said that was weird.
Yeah, no, I mean, I
Even
always
that
enjoy
is
Toy.
weird.
Yeah, I always enjoy Toylanta, but yeah. It's lost its sparkle the past few years, and I think it's because I know too much. When you know how the pudding's made or you know how the sausage is made, it loses the joy that it brings you. And I've gotten more and more as the years gone by, and the club becomes more involved, and you know more about what the background of Toylanta, and I think it not ruined it, but ruined it a little bit for me. Um,
Oh.
and I mean, I didn't really pick anything up. I mean, I'm hoping this year with them being in the new venue, it'll help.
New venue, and then they just announced that they're collaborating with PowerCon. I know in Columbus, the convention center that they did PowerCon with, which is a Masters of the Universe focused convention.
Uh-huh.
Um, that convention center is going down, or they couldn't do something in 2025. So it was surprising to see that PowerCon was doing something in collaboration with Toylanta.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
So we've got a new facility for the show.
mhm.
It's going to be triple the size of Jolanta, so that's an amazing plus. Um, so hopefully people will show up. Hopefully we'll get some great deals, and maybe I'm not looking for anything, but this mask fell into my lap. So
Right.
the Walrus Man mask fell into my lap at the last Toylanta, and
No,
yeah, just stay open.
yeah, no, I'm looking forward to if they're gonna do more of a PowerCon thing. I know there's supposed to be by the time this airs, there is gonna been a huge announcement. Because on the 3rd, so in a couple of days, they're gonna be making some kind of announcement, which we'll I guess report on the next time we get together to record. I mean, I'm looking forward to that, and I've always loved. I know people don't like corporate conventions, but I enjoy a corporate convention because you're seeing stuff. Like when in Star Wars Celebration, you have all the corporations come in and they're bringing their new wares, and you get to see some cool stuff that you're not just always looking at stuff to buy. But I mean, you're still looking at stuff to buy, but different stuff from a corporation. Um, and I've always enjoyed that.
Well,
So maybe they can bring an aspect to that into Toylanta.
there's some conventions that say they don't like corporate conventions, and as a corporation.
Exactly. Oh,
So,
happy, happy, joy, joy.
but that's not Rogue Fun. Rogue Fun is not a corporation. It's a lot of responsibility and risk taken on our shoulders.
Exactly.
It's just the cost of doing boutique conventions like this.
Yeah, which I think it was a pretty freaking boutique convention, but yeah, no, Rogue Fun was amazing. And like your wife, Shannon stopped me and was just like, take a breath and take it in because it'll be over before you know it. And
Yeah.
sure enough, before I knew it, we were ending bowling.
She says
Um,
that to new brides too. So
Yeah, no, it's the truth.
Newlyweds.
But yeah, no, I mean Rogue Fun because it was what, a year's worth of planning
Yeah. Yeah. More
and
than.
putting together and going to convention halls and going, and I don't know, we didn't really try out a menu, but it's like planning menus and planning excursions and I mean I really got to see um what you did, how good you are at setting stuff up and just letting watching you work your magic, which was awesome. And I think truthfully the best memory I have of Rogue Fun was the opening monologue where you just take the microphone and you threw the gauntlet down. I was like, who is this guy?
I kind of remember that. Yes.
Because it was like, man, you were just like, we have people from here and there, and welcome to Rogue Fun, and I'm Jason, and yeah, here we go. And I'm like,
It also helped that Mark produced that intro video that really captured the moment
right,
where it's the scene from Rogue One where they get into the ship and they use the Rogue One title for their mission.
yeah,
And
and we actually lost. Like, I wasn't expecting when because they played, so it was basically it was that video, and then when they were just like Rogue One, and he goes, no, Rogue Fun, and the place blew up, and I
yes,
was like, it's on. And we actually missed a joke because it wasn't placed.
yes,
He didn't
yes,
give,
that's
he didn't,
right.
I don't think anybody
Oh,
expected
wow,
that
I haven't
response.
thought about that since the moment.
Um,
I'm
because
getting
there's
goosebumps thinking about it. Sorry.
yeah, it is. Because there's a joke right after the Rogue One, a Rogue Fun announcement, and it was like Narayan needs another reason to collect swag or make
Yes,
swag, and
yes,
the joke was lost because everybody was applauding.
right. That was great. Oh, such a good memory.
So it was from that moment, I think it was all downhill. Not downhill, but we knew we had done something special, and everybody was in the right frame of mind to make it a special weekend.
Oh, now I'm like tearing up because I'm in the moment. This is crazy. Like
Oh, look at Jason.
I remember it's just like all these emotions coming back. I remember because you just talked about like all the effort that went into it.
Uh-huh.
And then Thursday night is like the unofficial start because it was showing it in the backyard. So it was just go, go, go. And then I remember the moment where John from Florida,
Mhm.
Kathy, and Ralph come walking down my driveway. They're the first to arrive, if I remember right.
Uh-huh.
The first, there might have been some Georgia Alliance. You might have been there. Narayan might have already been there. I can't remember. But they were the first guests. And I think Narayan was there. Did he show up later? Anyways, they were the first guests. And I just remember the emotion of like, it's on. It's happening
Right.
now.
It's ready to go.
It's the weekend is upon me.
Right.
So I remember that. Yes. And going the
Yeah.
hike, I got to know Matthias from Sweden and Daniel. We got to go on the hike with them, and then Chris G and his wife Sharon,
Yeah.
uh, Dave Brott and Dave Quinn, the Davids.
Yeah, I think my second favorite moment was just seeing David Quinn for the first time in years. It was like he's here, he made it. And he because he was running, he had gotten there a couple hours late because he was just late getting into town.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, that was awesome.
yeah. That I shared that moment on his podcast, Prototypes and Productions,
Productions.
about meeting him for the first time because I was racing around my backyard and I went inside to go grab something or to talk to someone, and I walk outside and there's David talking to you. I'm like, oh, this is weird.
Right. And it was also fun watching your wife geek out over David being there.
Yeah, she
Um,
loves his voice.
because it was like, come introduce me to David. Come on. And I'm just like, you're a real fan.
But we were expecting what? We were expecting 20, 30 people. We had about 50 people that night that showed
Dude, it
up.
was crazy that night.
The guys from Arizona showed up, and the Swedes showed up, and then the Seattle crew showed up, and it was a lot of like, oh, there's more people here than originally planned.
Right.
Luckily, we had enough food for once.
Right. And so you didn't have to take any food home that week.
No, no, but Yeah, what a special memory. I think that's probably going to be one of the memories of the century for me.
Yeah,
One
and it
or
is, and
at
it's
least
one
a
of those.
decade.
Yeah, and it is like we're talking. I think it's going to be one of those where in 5 years we're going to be like, remember this happening, and then we're going to be like, oh, we're going to bounce off each other and remember more.
Yes. I remember going to Waffle House now.
Right. I think that was the funniest because you were like, when did
Like,
Waffle House happen? And I was like, dude, we went at like 2:30
yeah.
in the morning, and you were like,
Yeah.
oh,
Not a good choice, especially someone with ADHD who relies on proper sleep for the brain to function. But
yes,
when in Rome, do as the Romans. And I stayed up
right.
late and zero regrets. I just don't remember things.
No, oh, that was such a good, I love going to stuff like that. And then, um, because it does, I just get the energy and, I, another memory I have from Rogue Fun is leaving what was a celebration quality room sales and being in my house in 20 minutes. That was like, wait a minute, we just did that. They are there because we put on Rogue Fun and we're making this happen in Georgia, in our backyard.
Yeah.
And and it was like it was just a shock that you know what I mean? It was like we were all a part in making that happen and it was awesome. It was a great feeling.
My remembrance of room sales was not as, I guess, rose-colored glasses as yours because I was feeling the panic of having to clean up and shut down.
Right?
Because at 8 o'clock when it started, there was
No,
no
no, I'm
plan.
talking Friday night room sales. I'm not
Oh,
talking.
okay.
I'm
Saturday
not.
night.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should have clarified. Lobby
Yes.
swap. The Friday night
Okay.
lobby
Okay.
swap.
Friday night lobby swap. Okay.
Um, but even the room sales of that room sales. I mean, I haven't seen a quality room sale of either a lobby swap or a room sale like that since Celebration 2017.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I've said it before, like you always say, the more you get into a hobby, the less impressive things become because you're looking for less stuff. And I remember walking around Celebration in 2017 and I'm like, man, if I had like $500 on me, I could have done so much damage because there's people selling, last 17s for $100. And it's like, man, I could have done it was just an incredible time right before everything went, before the pandemic and prices shot up.
Yeah.
Um, and before you were jaded. I don't want to say we're jaded, but you know what I mean? It's not as special anymore. It's still special, but it's not as you always remember your first time and you always go back to your first time and it never is that special again.
Oh, well, now, like, if we're considering a Rogue Fun too, you just kind of killed it. Like, it's
No,
not going to
dude,
be
I
a
want to do a
special.
Rogue Fun too. I'm
Well, you
ready
just
for
said
it.
it's not going to be a special. So,
It may not be, but
yeah, I don't like being mediocre.
I think it'll still be awesome, but it'll be, you know, I will do it and it'll be awesome, Jason. You know that. Now I got Jason second guessing himself. He'd be like, we're not doing a Rogue
We're
Funner.
not doing it. Forget it. Forget
No,
it. We're not doing it.
man, I got Ted's already like planned his PTO time to come down, and you're just like, yep, no, sorry.
Oh, this is a conversation that must be having
No, I'm just
outside of
messing.
me.
I wanted Ted to hear it and be like, son of a gun, so he can message me and be like, you know how much fun it is to poke at other people, especially
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
podcasters. The
Yeah.
Force of
So
Force, your bite-sized Star Wars podcast.
good
What else,
times.
Jason? Huh?
Good times. I
Good
don't know.
times.
Like Rogue Fun was the summit of my year. So I
Yeah,
don't.
no, it was you can't yeah. We're gonna make it better, but I just I'm so looking forward to Rogue Fun too. I can't wait. It's gonna be a fun time whenever we decide to do it.
Can't praise Mark Rusciano enough. Sorry for.
Right.
I mean, things things would go wrong, and I know I would be melting down in the back, freaking out what to do. And he's just like, "No, let me think this through. Okay, we're just gonna pop this video card out, put this one in, we're back on."
And then be like, thank God I had another video card with me.
Because I think yeah,
While
I think
Jerry's going, guys, I need my video.
I think some people for like in the middle of Jerry's the first presentation, we put in a year of this work to get to this point. Jerry's doing his presentation, and then 10 minutes in, everything goes black. The
Yeah.
microphone, the videos doesn't work, and that's what he's jumping off of. We've got three different video setups in the room, and he's talking to the slides that he's got on the video. So without the slides, there's nothing to talk about.
Right.
Um, and I think some people might melt down in that situation of panic. You've done a year of work to get to this point, and then it just all breaks. But
Well, no, I do have to give Mark praise because then he was just like, do the auction, stall them, and we
yes,
at least we may not have had a plan, but we had a plan, an oh crap plan in place, or we had at least one that we could point to and say, do this.
and I wish I could get more people's thoughts on the event, but from what I did hear, people didn't realize that, or they almost thought it was part of the plan. Like if something goes wrong, auction.
Right.
Like there was no lull. It was just like, okay, we're doing this now. We'll just get into it. It's like nobody felt like there was a drag in the
Right.
moment. It was just go, go, go.
Yep. And then Mark just kept yelling at me not to yell in the microphone, but I'm like, I'm a loud
That's
person.
I remember that too.
Quit yelling in the microphone.
That's his normal voice.
That's how I talk, Mark.
He doesn't have an inside voice.
What's an inside voice?
You've gotten better now that you've got hearing aids.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I had
Because
to, huh?
that's another memory walking around the biannual toy hunt,
Mm,
whatever, treasure hunt toy show.
right.
And people ask me, is Glenn here? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't hear him. And then I look over and there you are. That's a memory.
Right. No, I actually, I had to send my hearing aid in for a couple of days because all of a sudden it started acting up and I call them and they're like, oh yeah, it's shot. And I'm like, they're like, it's just out of warranty, but oh, it happened on Christmas Day. We'll send you another one. So it was amazing how, you don't realize how much you rely on it until it's gone, and I'm like, oh, I guess I really did. Cause I was talking, I guess it really does help because you don't realize that it's helping. And then I was trying to talk to somebody the other day at work, and he's sitting on my right side, and I'm like, I'm having such a hard time hearing him versus me having it. And I was like, I need this thing back.
Yeah.
So I got it back in like 3 days, which was awesome. So it's back up and running. So I'm not going to yell anymore. So did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I don't think there's any other memories to share at the moment.
Yeah.
Let's just rehash things.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to end up doing is just rehashing. I mean, we do have I do think that we're very spoiled. We're very spoiled in Georgia, because we are finally having a good toy community after 10 years or 15 years of people working it. I think we're finally to the point of being there, especially if Toylanta can do what I think it can do this year with Brett taking over Toylanta. Um, I'm just looking forward to 2025 to see what they can do with it, and see where the club can go in 2025.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, 2025 is a year of quiet. Um, I mean, I do want to do some trivia in May, so hopefully
Yep.
everybody can make it. And I want to do that in an area where it's not someone's house.
Right.
We also had the garage sale idea where we have a meetup where you just bring your stuff and we'll sell it. And if you make money, you make money. If not, no.
Should have brought better stuff.
Yeah, but it's one of those situations where it's yeah. It's one of those situations where you don't have to pay a table, just bring a table.
Right.
But I don't know.
We'll get there. No, I do like that idea. I do like the trivia. It's something that we've tried to strive for, and it just falls apart. I think is trying to do more stuff that's out and about because we do better. We get better attendance when it's out at a bar versus somebody's house. Um, and we've been hogging the meetups and stuff up on 75. So
Yeah.
we need to get more towards 85 and a little bit spread it out a little bit more.
Yeah, that'd be good to understand what people want in a meetup.
Right.
Is it the selling? Is it the community? Do you prefer houses versus, bars or restaurants?
Right. I think if we could do a combination of the bunch, I think we do good. I think we'll do good this year.
There's a bar out in Alpharetta. I was meeting Rich out there for dinner one time.
Hmm.
Dinner, lunch, and he sent me coordinates of where he shared his location of where he is. So I go to this location and I'm looking around. He's not there, but I see in the window a monkey lizard. It was a bar, and I could just see the shadow outline of a monkey lizard, and I know what a monkey lizard looks like. So I go inside, and I'm like, "Is he here? Did he like somehow geotag this monkey lizard as a place to meet up?" And so I finally meet up with him because he was walking about, and I guess the Apple was the location update from Apple was lagging,
Uh-huh.
and so I'm like, did you mean to set up a meetup location near a monkey lizard? He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, there's a monkey lizard in that bar over there. He's like, are you serious? So we go into the bar, and the whole bar is all Star Wars and sports bar stuff. It was weird. It was this
No.
mixture.
Yeah, I think we need to set something up at that bar one time because I think
Yeah,
it'd be fun. Because obviously he's a geek, and
yeah,
we can get, when we can get a bunch of geeks together, they'll be supportive of our geekness.
yeah. Geek off.
That's right.
I don't like the way you said that. That's
The-
right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Geek
Yes.
away.
Hello. Yes.
Geek
Oh
away.
man, that's another show that ended this. The last episode of What We Do in the Shadows was last week. It's pretty good. They
Yeah.
ended it right. I thought they
I've
ended
only
it.
I've only seen the movie. I need to watch the show.
It's fun. It's a
I
good
guess
show.
I've watched about 6 episodes of the first season,
Okay.
but the movie's hilarious.
I need to watch the movie.
Oh my gosh. Then, well, it'd be interesting to see what you think. Now that you've
Right.
only seen the show, if the movie holds up to the show.
Gotcha.
Whereas I'm like, the show needs to hold up to the movie. But
Right. Sort of like MASH.
yes, although I haven't seen the movie or the TV show.
Oh, come on. You used to watch it every night at 10:30 when the news would go off.
Yes. Yes, I did. Do. And I used to love Radar.
Radar, yes.
Is that right? Did I get that right?
Radar was the guy with the little guy.
Yes, who's trying to be crazy so you would get
No, that's Klinger.
oh.
The one that
See,
dressed
I
like a
don't know.
woman was Klinger.
Who's Radar?
Radar's the radar guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, I remember that. Okay. Sorry, I'm
With
not from that
glasses.
generation, so
Dude, we're only like 3 years apart.
I was born in 79, so essentially 80 because it was November.
Right.
So it's just a different generation.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
No.
I think
The
we're
way you,
good,
s-
Jason.
the way you say it, no, there's nothing else.
No,
That's the
I'm
end.
just gonna go cry in a corner now, remembering
Why?
Rogue Fun.
Oh, you ruined it. Just remember that as you sat there and think about it. You're the one that ruined it.
I totally ruined it.
Thank you for listening to the Smugglers Galaxy podcast. If you could please leave a like and a 5-star review of the show anywhere you listen to podcasts. It really helps us out and points people to our show. Follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Send us an email or message us. We'd love feedback. We'd love to make you part of our show. Our email address is smugglersgalaxy@gmail.com. Thank you to Alfonso Riviera for the logo. And thank you to Levi Waterhouse for the music. People, collect for the love of it. Hashtag vote with your wallet. Here we go again. Pass on what you've learned. Be a positive force in the collective community. This is the way.
This is the way.